Hello, and welcome to this podcast. I am Baal Kadmon. I've received many emails over the past, I would say about a year, asking me if I will ever release an audiobook for my book Mahavidya Magick. It does contain some complex mantras, and I understand that it would be of great benefit if this book was an audio. Well, I would like to say, yes, it is coming out in audio, and it'll be out in probably about a week. So in this podcast, I'm going to read 2 chapters from that book. I hope you enjoy it. Introduction. If you have read the other books in the Mantra Magick series, you know I'm a big proponent of mantras and their magical applications. Often you see mantras as separate practices from magic. It is my goal through my books to make mantras a mainstay in the Western occult traditions. There is no reason they shouldn't be. After all, any occultist worth their salt will be aware that occult powers can be gleaned from many different traditions, and that to be well-rounded in other methods makes for a very powerful practice. In this book, we will discuss the Mahavidya, or the Great Wisdoms. They are, in fact, 10 emanations of divine Shakti, the great divine feminine that permeates the entire universe and which makes up much of the Hindu tradition. As I have stated in my other books, the divine feminine is of utmost importance in the Eastern traditions. These 10 aspects are no exceptions. In fact, they embody the entire Shakti tradition as far as I'm concerned. Why the Mahavidya? The Mahavidya represents, as I stated, the 10 aspects of the Shakti, from the horrific and blood-curdling goddess on one side and the gentle, soft goddess on the other. They represent the whole spectrum of the divine feminine and thus the universe. In this book, we will not only discuss, but we will learn to use these 10 aspects in our lives. Let us proceed. The origin of the Mahavidya. The one truth is sensed in 10 different facets. The Divine Mother is adored and approached as 10 cosmic personalities. One of my favorite aspects of the Hindu religion is its vibrant spiritual beliefs and the stories that accompany them. I admit that since my books are mostly about magic, I always have a sense of incompletion because I so want to recount all the stories behind all the major deities I work with and write about. For the sake of brevity, I am unable to do so with every book. I will make one small exception here. Although it would take us several volumes to fully go into the Mahavidya, let me tell you how the Mahavidya came to be within the Hindu tradition. The great god Shiva, one of the most revered deities in Hinduism, was said to be married to Sati, the daughter of the descendant of Brahma named Daksha Prajapati. Daksha was not very happy about this and was trying to figure out how he might insult Shiva. He devised a perfect plan. He held a grand yagna, a holy Vedic ritual, to which he invited all the gods and goddesses but made sure not to invite Shiva. When Sati heard this, she wanted to go, but Shiva wished that she would not, since the only real purpose of this yagna was to insult him. Sati, needless to say, was not very happy about this. Who was Shiva to tell the Shakti of the universe what to do? In anger, she assumed the form of the Divine Mother, and the entire existence began to tremble and rage. This frightened Shiva. He tried to flee for shelter, but no matter where he went, there she was. She split herself up into 10 different forms, thus ensuring there was really no place for him to run or hide. These 10 forms that she created from herself were known as the Das Mahavidyas, Das meaning 10. Although they are all Sati incarnate, they all took on their own aspects, and around them evolved cults, folklore, and mantra practices. They essentially are treated as separate goddesses in their own rights. 2 of these 10 are well known by many in the West, mainly Kali and Tara. The other 8 not so well. In the following 10 chapters, I will go into each one and give some background about them, as well as their mantras. There you have it, a quick podcast on the Mahavidya. I hope you enjoyed it. I will speak to you soon. So mote it be.